What's going on, guys? This is Empty Box, and this is Empty Thoughts Episode 1, and today we're going to be talking about publishers, developers, marketing teams, and why they are so stupid in absolutely killing gaming as we know it. And it's their own fault, and they're only hurting themselves. Yeah, and sales too, I mean that. But first of all, what I want to say is this topic was brought up by a couple of articles posted on the PC Gamer website, which I'll go ahead and toss in the description down below for you guys to read for yourselves. But, you know, by no means am I saying I know everything about video games, and by no means am I saying I've done, you know, extensive studies and everything to determine how many sales this game would get if they would change their marketing technique and all that garbage. But I'm not saying any of that, but what I am saying is this is a sad sign of where we are going and why things are not going to get better, because at the end of the day, these two articles just show how much the people making these video games do not understand anything, which sounds really strange. Oh yeah, these people can make video games, but they don't have a freaking clue what video game to make because they don't freaking listen and they're too freaking blind to take notice of what is happening, which is actually a very serious thing, and I do fully expect video game market to just kind of implode on itself, much like kind of the Nintendo Wii did, where everybody was going goo goo gaga over that when it released, and then, oh hey, shovelware, 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 shovelware. Say that 10 times fast, and honestly, the Wii is not even a serious platform. It couldn't even be considered that, despite the fact that, you know, some of the Nintendo exclusives I heard are just freaking amazing. You know, but again, that's just a testament to people who actually know how to make games rather than market games, which is something that we've seen a lot, and I expect us to continue to see. But the first article I want to talk about, though, is one of the BioWare guys, or ex-BioWare guys, said to one of the other BioWare guys that they should get out now because the fan negativity is going crazy and we can't please their customers and everybody hates us now and we're just trying to do our job, blah 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 blah. We didn't mean to. You know, and a couple of things specifically mentioned were, you know, the Old Republic, Mass Effect 3, Dragon Age 2, which, you know, I never played Dragon Age 2 or the Old Republic for longer than 5 minutes because they're not my type of games, but Mass Effect 3, you know, I did play Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3. I had probably 200 hours or so in Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 across different playthroughs before Mass Effect 3 came out, you know, and not to turn this into another ending of Mass Effect 3 rant video because there are millions of those out there, but I did feel very angry about the ending, not because of the way that it was in terms of, oh, you can't win this fight no matter what. You know, I thought that was something that they actually could have made work, but they just failed to deliver. You know, throughout the entire course of Mass Effect, there's always, you know, multiple endings, it's going to change completely, your decisions really matter, you know, and from my perspective, I was thinking, you know, more along the lines of, okay, you know, maybe we got rid of Caden back on, what was it, Vermeer, because he never left that planet alive in one of my playthroughs, never. I kid you not. You know, that would really matter, like, because I killed that guy, like, I just threw away the galaxy. You know, that was the type of thing we were expecting, you know, actual huge change. Instead, we got different colored endings. You know, maybe that was their intention, but when you say you're going to deliver multiple endings, we kind of expect multiple endings. And color-coded endings are not multiple endings. They just simply are not. You know, it's just the lazy, cheap way, and not even the effective way. You know, I think about a game that did very much the same thing just a little bit beforehand with Deus Ex Human Revolution. You know, it's a great game, one of the best this generation. If you haven't played it, by all means, go ahead and play it now because it's just freaking amazing. You know, it did the same thing. You know, at the end of the game, you basically walk into a room and it's press one of 3 buttons to get your ending cutscene. And it plays the same stock footage, only in a different order depending on which box you pick. You know, and it has a little voiceover, which, honestly, for Human Revolution, it did work a little bit better than Mass Effect 3 by a mile, because the voiceover was the more important thing, and it did change, you know, fairly substantially, although there were still obviously some lines that were reused. But, you know, I didn't feel angry about that because I wasn't told to expect, you know, these huge changes. I didn't have 200 hours or so built up into Adam Jensen, you know, in Human Revolution. It was what it was. I was happy with the ending. I was satisfied. I wasn't told to expect any differently, whereas with Mass Effect 3, we were told to expect differently, you know, which is something that we've been seeing in pretty much every video game. Oh, it's different than this video game because of these certain things and blah blah blah. We fixed this over last year's model. You know, heck, if you want to think about it, EA Sports is by far the worst offender of the bunch. Although, hey, Madden 13, all new this year, best physics engine ever. Bet it still has that one play that can never be stopped because the AI just can't quite comprehend what is going on. Because that's in every freaking Madden video game. But, you know, I just don't see it. It's just marketing destroying their own game, you know, basically causing this fan outrage that they are getting so angry about and quitting their jobs because of. When in reality, they did it to themselves, or their marketing guys did it to themselves. Because honestly, would Mass Effect still have sold well if they didn't constantly shove it in our face about how important decisions were and how much change there was going to be? Yes, it was an amazing freaking game. It's an amazing freaking series. It didn't need, you know, all that marketing BS as it ended up being on top. It would have sold just fine. It was a great game. It was fun to shoot stuff. There's blue chicks. We all like blue chicks, right? I hope we do. But anyways, the second article I want to talk about is from one of the Ubisoft guys working on Splinter Cell Blacklist, which he's basically complaining about how everyone in the community is upset by the fact that everything that we've seen from Splinter Cell Blacklist is less Splinter Cell and more random face shooter 675439, which is how it looks. You know, I think of Splinter Cell and I think of stealthy action, but the fact is that apparently isn't where they want to take it. He says at one point in this article that they're no longer stealth action, they're stealth action adventure, and how series have to evolve, which I say, you know, if you want to evolve your series, add more weapons, more gadgets, better AI, smarter AI, different level design that actually changes things around rather than going through, you know, oh hey, crawl through this vent, because that's in every single stealth game, I swear to God. You know, evolve your gameplay rather than changing your game formula, because honestly, I think of another Ubisoft game, Ghost Recon Future Soldier. That game was very enjoyable. It was a great first-person shooter campaign, one of the best of last year and the last couple of years. You know, honestly, I actually played through it a second time, not because I had to, but because I wanted to, because it's that much fun and there's different ways to approach things. But at the same time, I can see the outrage caused by the Ghost Recon fans, you know, the old-style Ghost Recon, where it actually required tactics and that type of stuff. You know, it's like, why did you sell this game as a Ghost Recon game and not deliver a Ghost Recon game? You didn't need to do that. The game stands fine just as it is. Everyone is going to know what in the world is going on. You know, we live in the age of YouTube and all these websites with these gaming news and everything. It's pretty hard for a game not to get noticed. You look at DayZ, you know, that game just exploded with Arma 2, you know. I should say that mod exploded Arma 2. And next thing you know, it's on the Steam top sellers list constantly. They're going to make a standalone version. And they didn't market it one bit. I never, ever, ever have seen a television commercial for Arma 2. And I'm pretty sure you haven't either. You know, and how do people know about it? Word gets around. You know, you look around at YouTube, there's millions of DayZ videos now. There's thousands of players. And, you know, for better or for worse, you know, it exploded. You know, personally, I think it's better when it wasn't a bajillion players and everybody and their brother was playing, but at the same time, it's good to see that something can still get around word of mouth and be passed around, which makes me wonder, why do these people need to do this? I mean, why are we slapping names onto stuff and trying to sell it to something that it's not? You know, at some point in this article as well, the same guy says, oh, well, there's still stealthy elements and everything, basically, which I say, then why aren't you showing stealthy elements in your trailer instead of complaining about how people are complaining about it's not stealthy enough? Hopefully you understand what I just said, because I think my wording was very convoluted there, but It just makes no sense. Are you guys deaf, dumb, blind, and stupid? I sure hope you can play some mean pinball, because you pretty much are failing at basic video game development. Yeah, I know someone's going to say, oh, well, if you know so much about video games, go ahead and make one. Which I say, we play video games. We know a lot about video games by the simple fact that we play them. We know what works. We know what we enjoy. We know what we hate. You know, and it's that simple. You know, players really should determine where a series go, because right now pretty much every major series is insisting on alienating their fans, and that is going to cause a giant wormhole in the future. I'm looking at you, EA, because Battlefield 4 is not going to sell nearly as well as you think it's going to, because of what you did with Battlefield 3. So let me know what you guys think about this topic, these videos, this type of idea, topics for the next one, and that'd be great. So let me know what you think. Bye.